a mais um episódio de Sonoridades. No episódio de hoje a gente está falando com o Stratovarius sobre o Monsters of Rock, edição de 30 anos, que acontece agora dia 19, na Páscoa. Os caras estão vindo aqui, vão abrir o evento às 11 horas da manhã, vão trazer as novidades do Disco Survive, que já apresentaram também no Summer Breeze outros apanhados de carreira. A gente está torcendo para que eles toquem Visions na íntegra, né? Como eles têm feito lá na Finlândia. O papo foi bacana, a gente falou do setlist do Monsters of Rock, inteligência artificial, discos de vinil, o impacto deles ainda hoje para essa geração mais nova, o que os 40 anos de banda trouxeram para a vida deles, entre outros assuntos. Confira que tem mais para vir aí. Valeu! Guys, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to talk with you. Timo, I talked to you in 2011 or 10 with Halloween here in
Yeah.
Brazil tour. And it's awesome to see you again 15 years later.
Nice to have you.
Yeah. So the first question is a little obvious, but you're going to play here in Brazil during the Monsters of Rock 30 years of this festival. So I want to talk about the set list, the expectations for this concert and for the tour. What can you say about it?
Well, we haven't decided on the set list yet, because now we are still playing Finnish tour with Sonata Arctica. But personally, to me, this is like a huge thing because, I mean, of course, I've seen a lot of live videos from Monsters of Rock Brazil, and like, wow, would be nice to play there someday, and now it's gonna happen. So we are super excited.
And Jens, what about your expectations?
Yeah, my expectations are sky high, of course. I mean, Brazil is always fun anyway. And I think it will just be fantastic. Like, I know it would be a little bit stressful because we have a bunch of other shows around there, but I think it should be good fun. Like,
yeah. And you play here in Summer Breeze 2023, and we recorded a great video for the song Demand from the album Survive. So how do you see this reception of the album, the reception of the crowd? Because people who went to Summer Breeze maybe not the same kind of people that went to the Monsters of Rock to see how do you see this crossover of public and of course your album reception and everything else?
I think you have to tell us. I mean, in which way is Summer Breeze audience different than Monsters of Rock? Is it like more rock in the Monsters of Rock, or like metal?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, I think it's just going to be even better. I don't know. Summer Breeze was fun. Like,
Yeah, Summer Breeze was great.
This is like perfect interview. We get the answers. Like,
I was there on Summer Breeze, and I have to say it was a great concert. I really enjoy it.
Obrigado.
Some friends that didn't know about Stratovarius became Stratovarius fans. So how do you see this fan base that's still growing year after year? I mean, the band is also more than almost 40 years of band. So how do you see it?
It's like it keeps growing with younger people, which is interesting. And it's something our label tells us also, because of course they can see the demographics much better than you can when you are just playing on stage. You can't really see who's younger, who's old. But they are going like, oh, you are attracting like younger audience, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's, in my mind, it's because we have this kind of clever idea in the band that we bring younger people in, almost like a hockey team. So then you get the influence of the younger people. I think most other bands that have been around for 40 years, they might have like only old people in the band, but we have like a very mixed year. We have one person from each decade almost. So.
Yeah, it's also that now something has happened in the past few years after COVID, that now this kind of at least in our band's case, our music is more popular. We get more people in the crowd. Maybe it's because we've been just playing a lot of shows, and we, in my mind, in my opinion, we created quite good album. The last album, we put a lot of effort, a lot of time to produce the album and compose the songs, and because we don't want to just release something, like next year we release something, but we actually, well, it was 7 years in between, so we've been like paying a lot of attention to the
Yeah.
songs, and also now we have a new live setup, and we try to play good live shows. So maybe that's like, creating the buzz.
And Survive is also a great album. I mean, great songs. I saw that in Brazil became one of the most listening albums on the Spotify and the streaming and everything else. So how do you deal with streaming? I know that streaming kind of democratized music, spread music around the world for people who maybe don't get to see Stratovarius, but became a great, I mean, spreading songs, but maybe not so good for the artist. So how do you see this streaming thing? And now we get AI becoming a great thing for some reasons and maybe not. So how do you see this digital thing in music?
Jens, you want to start?
Uh, or maybe you start.
Well, I can start because I know that you have a long answer to this. Well, Spotify, of course, we can't do anything about these streaming services except to be in them. Like money-wise, it's piece of nothing. It's not the way it used to be like 15, 20 years ago, that you were actually getting some money by recording an album, and then maybe you lost some money by touring. But now it's totally the other way around. But of course, the way we see it is that then the more streams you have, then it means that there might be more interest towards the band, and there might be more people coming to see the live shows. But right now, it's nothing we can do about it. But we just have to hang on.
Yeah, it's I mean, the world changed forever, I would say 2001 or something, when Napster came. So I think after that, it's just been this slow adaptation to how the world is. I don't really know how to see it really, but we are just kind of adapting, and of course we make most of the money we make now from live shows. So we do a lot of live shows, obviously. But yeah, it's complicated. And this AI, I myself, I'm not particularly scared of the AI thing, because I think AI is it's very much a thing with this kind of narrow music that we do. It's about authenticity in a way. I think maybe for people who are listening more just as background noise or whatever, while they are driving or something like that, they might actually be okay with AI generated music. But I think for metal fans, I think they usually cannot listen to a band because of a good reason. And I think then that reason disappears when you just have an AI generated track. So I don't really know, but we have to see. We have to see how it goes.
On the other hand, we have vinyl and cassettes growing up. Like vinyl, it's on the Zapek in row. So how do you see the vinyl and cassettes? Are you interested in releasing something in cassettes? Because in some countries, cassettes like a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Really? We
if
haven't
people
thought
would,
about it like.
if people would
Really,
buy them, of course.
China and India, it's really huge.
No,
Mhm.
but I think China and India, they don't pay copyrights anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's like, well, good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good for
never got
somebody.
any merchandise royalties from these countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess if it floats their boat, there's not so much we can do about it. But for me, I mean, technically, I would say the sound quality is actually better, at least than cassettes when you have like Spotify or something like that. Cassettes are kind of compromise from a technical standpoint. I mean, CDs are of course good sound. Vinyl can be good also. I don't know.
And of course, vinyls, somehow people value it them much more because it's like you can see the artwork and it's something proper that you can hold on your hand. And I've seen a lot of people who like come especially for the vinyls, that you sell any vinyls, and then we are like, not on this tour, but then we have to bring some. Of course, I think it's more like marketing tool for the bands, but I like the vinyls, even though I don't have a vinyl player yet, but I'm gonna get one.
Yeah, I have one vinyl from Stratovarius.
Yeah.
Which one?
I think it's for the single of Hunting High and Low, maybe.
Oh.
Okay.
On 2011, when we did an interview with you, we brought a fan to see the show, the concert with Halloween, and they get in touch with the band, and he just kind of this huge suitcase with a lot of vinyls from Stratovarius, with CDs and DVDs, and spent like 30 minutes to sign everything else, and then he presented me with one with a special dedication is here. I don't have to find now, but it's here with me, and it's a great vinyl.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I brought this history because I know that your fan base is always growing, and you have a special relations with fans. I mean, you talk with fans on the concerts, receive the fans. So how do you see this relationship with the fans? Because a lot of artists don't have this. I mean, this kind of treatment with the fans.
You mean like signing sessions and the like?
Yeah. And
it's when you have time, it's of course a nice thing. Like very often the schedule is kind of tight, and it might impact your ability to sleep even when you do this. Like in Latin America, sadly, it's very often the case. You kind of fly and then you get in very late or you get in very early, and it's like your only time to sleep might be like when there would be a good time for a signing session. But yeah, in general, I mean, it's also something which is different from a downloaded stream or whatever. It's like a live performance in a way, like this fan interaction. Like, of course, a live concert in a way, it's actually one big fan interaction compared to streaming.
Yeah. I'm asking this because I have a lot of fans asking me to ask about this. So it's a kind of a fan-based question.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, that's great.
So we have 16 albums of Stratovarius, a lot of albums. So how they keep evolving? Because I have to say, Survive is one of the greatest albums I ever heard of the band. So congratulations, guys! It's a great album.
Thanks.
And it's always one thing about Stratovarius that I think is the most trademark of Stratovarius is the creativity and the musicality. So how do you mix all this on an album like Survive?
I think it's just like taking time and writing it, not rushing and saying like, oh, like Timo was mentioning before, like not having this idea that we have to release a new album because of reasons. So it's more like we just release a new album when we feel that we have enough material to release a new album. So I guess that takes care of it in a way, because then everybody's happy to release something because everybody likes what we have made.
And also, I would like to say that the biggest difference to this album and basically to all of the other albums in Stratovarius is that we composed together, basically in the same room, Jens, Matthias, and me, and we were throwing in some ideas, and then it was easy to get immediate feedback. If somebody presented something, like if I would say that I have this melody, and then Jens would say, it doesn't work, then we just drop it, and then we move on. So it was like a new process for our band. We never composed together, never. It was always like one guy composing like basically the whole song. Sometimes, maybe somebody had some idea for one of the songs, but basically that's how we worked in the past. And this time we wanted to change, and I think it paid off. We are super happy about the album and the way that it's Stratovarius, but I think it has a modern 2000 when it came out, 2022. I guess so. Like a modern Stratovarius, not like trying to copy. Of course, it would be easy to copy Stratovarius year 2000 because we know how the songs are. But it's kind of difficult to evolve in a way that we still sound like Stratovarius, but there would be something new. So I think we succeeded in that.
Yeah. During the COVID times, everybody have to get to something to, I mean, to keep going. And a lot of people get to the Stratovarius songs to keep it going, like Hunting High and Low, Black Diamond, and a lot of songs, Eagle Heart, even songs from Survive that was released in the kind of the end of the COVID times. So how do you see the power of your music? Because I know that music is healing, but how do you see the power of Stratovarius songs?
Well, it's a good question. I think to me, anyway, I mean, always the lyrics have been, we have not been this like black metal band. So the lyrics have been kind of positive. And I know there's like a lot of other bands who do, more satanic stuff. I mean, like I would say we are like zero satanic. I mean, maybe some super hardcore Christians would say it's like this is still not okay, but I still think some other bands are very, very, very on the dark dark side of kind of like everything, but pessimism or whatever. Like, and I think there's like an optimism in most of the stuff that we do, which I think is exactly what you said. Maybe that's why it fit good for this COVID years. I don't know, like still something to hope that there will be some better times coming. Like,
Yeah, and I mean the winters in Scandinavia, they're dark enough. If you said then write super dark lyrics, then you're like, But of course, there's a lot of bands who do that. But I think the best feedback is when we get some messages. Is it the Instagram or Facebook or whatever, that we get a lot of stuff from the fans that our songs and especially some lyrics help them through the bad times. So that's like, okay, now we know that we are doing something important.
Yep.
I think I have time for just more two questions. So this little one is a tricky question because if you have to choose one album or one song to resume or encapsulate the entire career of Stratovarius, which song or album would be? If you have to present to someone who lives on Mars that doesn't know anything about Stratovarius, which song or album would you present to him?
Okay, I can go first. Just the first song that came to my mind. I'm choosing this because we are playing this in our set right now in Finland. I don't know about Brazil, but I would pick now Visions, just because there's all these elements. There's fast parts, and then there's some soft parts. I'm just talking about the singing. There's like super high vocals, but then there's also like almost balladish feeling. But there's a lot of different parts. So it's a long song, but I would maybe try to present. Okay, we do this kind of a music.
That's true. Well, in case then I have to pick a short song.
Yes, please.
So in this case, I pick from the new album, "This World on Fire," maybe, because then it's like the new era and the old era, so it's like two different songs from each.
That's a good one.
Great choices, great choices. And to finish, if you had to advise, if Jens and Timo from 2025 have to talk something to Jens and Timo from the beginning of the band, or the beginning of the career on the band, which advice would be, and what do you think Timo and Jens from that time would talk to you nowadays?
Well,
that's a good question.
I would say that Timo, who joined the band 1994, would not have expected that he would still be singing professionally this year, because I mean we didn't have any expectations back then. But I would also tell him that just take it easy. It's gonna be all right. Don't stress about the gigs.
I would tell myself, don't be such an asshole and drink less.
Okay. Guys, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
It's all good, man. Hopefully we'll meet in Monsters of Rock.
Yeah.
festivals in Finland. And you know, when Finnish people, it's a weekend, Friday or Saturday evening, we drink some vodka and we are very fucking drunk. But also, Finnish people can be very fucking loud, right? So, Laken, do you think that you can be louder than the people in Finland? Okay, let's have a test. So sing after me. I am hunting high low. Come on! That was pretty good, but I don't think it was good enough. It was almost there. But you know, yesterday we happened to play in Spain, and we slept like 3 hours and took like 2 flights, whatever. And the audience yesterday in Spain, they were very fucking loud. So, how